Good morning. It is February 8th, 2023. This is Joe from Ask Joe About Money. And we're about 2 minutes before the market opens. We are looking at the MES, which is a micro contract of the E-mini S&P 500. And the first thing that we do in the morning is we're going to take a look at the overnight trading. So yesterday, the market closed here, and we're going to draw in our lines for the high of the overnight session and the low, and just get an idea and understanding of, looks like we're going to open up here at the low end of the opening range. So the opening range was from 41, or the overnight range was from 49.79.50 on the top end down to 41.51. So 51. So what's that? About 30 points. Decent size opening range. And I always like to look at it as it relates to yesterday's action. So basically, the overnight range held most of the gains that we made on the way back up. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, but we are on the lower end at this point. So I just like to look at that just to get an idea of what the price action looked like. I want to note that it was not able to go past the high of yesterday, but it did consolidate up towards the top third of yesterday's price action. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to switch to the market hours chart, because that'll allow us to see the gap, and then we're going to kind of work our way through it like we do every day. Regular trading hours. All right, so the market's going to open up here in a couple of minutes. There it is, right there. So there's the open. Okay, let's take a look at the 60-minute chart. All right, so on the 60-minute chart, we can see, let's get this out of the way for now. On the 60-minute chart, again, same theme that we've been discussing here for many days now. So we have this rising trend line. Then again, we failed yesterday. Despite that strong rally yesterday, we did fail to make a new high. So, we're looking up here. We were at resistance. This is clear resistance. I've been saying this is an important level, and not just because I said it, but look how much time we're spending up here. And so now the market's going to decide from here, what are we doing? Are we going to have enough buyers here? I can certainly see a scenario where this launches back up and we break through resistance decisively. But I could also see a situation where we meet a lower high here. And I could certainly see a situation where this resolves itself to the downside. So that's just things that I'm observing. I don't know, obviously, what's going to happen. But I'm sitting here and I'm aware. Let's take a look at what we have on the news front today. So 9:15. Oh, I guess that already happened. 9:15. Member Williams spoke, so that's fine. Okay. And so that's the bigger picture on the 60-minute. So that's what we have going on here on the 60-minute. And now let's switch back to the 5-minute. Okay. So what happened yesterday? So what happened yesterday is we had this move down, then this move up, and we're opening up below the moving average. The market closed here, 74.75, and we opened here. So it's about a 20-point gap down. And let's take a look here, what's going on so far. So far, and again, we'd always talk about looking at the open and seeing, let me get all these drawing objects out of the way. These are what I use to frame out the trades. You'll see these tonight. I want to do my trade review for the day. But so we're looking at the open, and this is a situation where we're opening below the moving average. We're gapping down. If I would be seeing big red bear bars closing at their lows, I would be interested in taking a short here because I can see the opportunity to come back down here to support. But let's see what happens, because again, on the open, what I call amateur hour, because amateurs, and I know because I used to be one, are really excited to trade because the market's opening. But if you look at just yesterday, look what happened in the open yesterday. Look at what happened in the open yesterday. This was the open, and then look at the moves that were available after the open. So it's patience, it's awareness, and it's just looking at what is happening in the market. I was thinking about, since this is day 2 of doing these market open live trading room, and I just was thinking about, what are some things that I could talk about, because there's going to be mostly waiting. So there's the first bar that did close as a green bar, but not a very strong green bar. But now that looks like there's some buying from there. But it's less important what I say about the market at the open, and it's more important on us talking about our mindset and our state of mind and our awareness. So I just figured that during the times when there's nothing to talk about in the market, during the times that we're just waiting, which is a lot of the time, it would be a good time to just talk about different strategies that I utilize. And today I kind of want to just introduce the concept of how important it is to think about and talk about our mindset, right? How important is it to talk about and think about our mindset? Because at the end of the day, what's going to drive our results is not going to be the perfect entry. It's not going to be the perfect setup. It's going to be our mindset. I wasn't ready for this move yesterday. I was not in the proper mindset. I did not take advantage of that. I had my setup. I showed you where I would have bought. I would have ended up buying right here with a risk box here. And yet, this is one of my favorite trades. And because I wasn't prepared mentally, and because I was off my game, I didn't take that trade. So how is that? Why is it that I knew what to do and yet I didn't do it? Well, here's the answer. The answer is, despite all my preparation and despite all my knowledge and despite all the work that I've done on my mindset and everything else that I do, I yesterday in that area, I wasn't prepared in that moment in the market. So what does that mean? Well, obviously, I need to do more work in that area. Obviously, I need to look at it better, but I'm just trying to point out a problem, a challenge for us to look at, because why didn't I take that trade? Because I had some type of fear, I had some type of belief, and I was not listening to the market, and I wasn't completely aware. So that's what we talk about, right? That's what we talk about, because when and the reason why I focus on one market is that the experience of trading one market and knowing the personality of that market and being an expert and the master of that market is extremely important. Okay, let's get that out of the way, because obviously, if we don't have the skill and we don't know how to trade the market and when to trade the market, etc., we can have the best mindset, but it's not going to matter. Okay, so we get that out of the way because we need that. And that's something that I practice on, and I study charts, and I review my charts, and I'm doing this live stream, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, once you get that, so that's something that we need to practice on. But at the end of the day, what really drives the results on how much you're going to make, and are you able to let the trades run, and are you able to take the trades on their maximum uncertainty, because that's where the opportunity exists. Are you going to be able to trade without fear? Are you going to be able to trade without belief? Ladies and gentlemen, this is all mindset. This is all mindset. So the reason why that's important is I spend more time on my mindset, whether it's taking care of my physical body, which helps my mindset, whether it's taking care of doing my meditations, doing my process, because at the end of the day, what is going to continue to dictate my success is going to be that, right? It's going to be my mindset. So here we are, the second bar closed. This is a big bull bar, okay, closing at its high. But again, for me, we have to remember that no matter how strong the opening drive is, 50% of the time it reverses. So I'm not ready to go ahead and start buying because I just need more evidence. We have a lot of resistance above. The market has been failing here for a long time. So really, what is the upside here at this point? Again, things could always change. Everything that I'm saying is it's as of this point right now. So back to mindset. So I just gave you an example of yesterday of a trade that I didn't take because I was not in the correct mindset. So this, for me, is devastating in the sense that in the right mindset, I catch this move every time. And this was a strong move, and I had every indication here to get in. The market is telling me that it's strong. Look how big of this green bar going into the moving average. And I didn't take it. So we need to practice our mindset. And it's not something where it's like, we've heard the gurus, you need to have positive thoughts. You need to have affirmations. But it's beyond that. When it comes to trading, we've all heard of the zone, right? Being in the zone. Maybe we could relate it to sports. Maybe we could relate it to playing a musical instrument, right? But the zone, what this means to me, is awareness. Awareness without any bias, awareness without any belief, awareness without any fear, awareness without any greed. And I believe this is a skill. I believe the only way you can get there is by practicing it every single day. Now, there are things, we talk about our daily rituals that we can do to promote that. For example, physical exercise, meditation, there's different things. But ultimately, all that matters is how we apply that in practice, right? How do we apply that in practice? And you'll notice, here I am at the open of the market. I did my pre-market preparation, and the market's trading, and I'm spending more time, because this is what's going through my mind. I'm spending more time checking in and seeing where I am mentally than I am checking in where the market is. Because the market is going to do what the market's going to do. It's how I interact with the market that is going to dictate if I'm successful or unsuccessful. This is a contact sport. This is a performance sport. We get paid based on how well we perform. Our performance is between the ears. What I'm looking at on the chart here is one thing, but how I interact with it is going to depend on where my mindset is. And this is really important. This is what the big takeaway is that, but wait a minute, Joe, you're not paying attention to the charts. And what if you miss it? The reality is this. In my experience, when I'm able to maintain a state of mind with no emotion and no fear and openness, to be open to what the market is telling me, is when I could react to the market with all my tools and with all my experience in a zero state, in a pure way, where I'm going to make the best possible decision based on my ability. If I don't have the ability, well, right now is not the time to work on that. That's what I do when the market is closed, and I could add different techniques and I could add different setups. But right now, all that I'm worried about right now is where I am mindset-wise. So here we are. Here's the third bar, 3 green bars. This one smaller. So, this is something where, what am I making of this? I don't know. It's not, we're right at the moving average. I'm not really making much of it. I am just observing and, kind of seeing what type of open it's going to be. Back to the mindset, because again, that's what matters, okay? That's what matters. So the skills that we acquire are important because that's how we press the button to buy or sell. But when the market is open, when the market is trading, is not the time, okay? Is not the time to worry about, okay? To worry about, well, do I have enough skills? Do I have enough setups? If you don't know it by now, that's going to have to be a setup or a skill for a different day. I bring into the market today all my knowledge and my experience, and that's what I bring. Tomorrow, I'll bring in more knowledge and more experience. And next week, more knowledge and more experience. So that's going on whatever path it's going on. But for now, what I'm worried about in this moment, right now, 9:46 a.m., 16 minutes into the market open, what I'm concerned about is where am I mindset-wise? Where am I checking in? Because there are times when my checking in helps me make a decision that I shouldn't be trading. And guess what? That's the best decision of all. So it's not about what the market is doing, it's what's going on in your mind. You should never feel rushed. And really, when we look at these different emotions, we need to use them as indicators, not as a positive or a negative. If I'm feeling angry, if I'm feeling anxious, it could be a reason that maybe I'm not managing my risk properly. Maybe something happened in my personal life. Whatever the case may be, when would you want to know that? Would you want to know that now? So you can make decisions and you can make a decision possibly not to trade? Or would you want to know that after the market is closed, you say, well, I wasn't really zoned into that and I didn't have the right mindset. So the reason why awareness of your mind is super important is that it could be awareness where it's something that's going on where you could fix it, and this way you could readjust in real time to be ready for trading. Or it could be a situation where you say, you know what, I just need a break. And I've done that many, 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 many times. I just need a break. I go for a walk. I need a break. I go to the gym. Because it doesn't matter how good the market is. I just gave you a great example yesterday afternoon, and I missed this entire move. If I don't come equipped with the right mindset, okay, if I don't come equipped with the right mindset, it does not matter, okay? It does not matter how good the market is, because it just happened yesterday. Number one priority is your mindset. Number one priority is making sure you're in the state of mind. And if you're not, try to get back to it. And if you can't, you need to walk away. And then you'll learn how to do that too. That's a skill set as well, right? How long do you have to walk away for? I don't know. What type of activity do you need to do? I don't know. But the goal is, what type of things, again, this is experimentation over time. What type of things can you do to get yourself back into the zero state, right? So that's something, I don't know, that's for you to answer. But what I can tell you is that if you're trying to compete in this arena, okay, if you're trying to compete in this arena and you don't bring your mindset, your chances of success are not going to be very good. And that's not something to get offended over. That's not something to say, well, Joe, I'm a good person. Yeah, but that's why we have to be honest, is because the market doesn't care about us as people, right? The market doesn't care about that. But we have ways where when we're looking at the market, we're able to make decisions, and we can only do that to the extent that we're open and we don't bring our beliefs in and we don't bring our stuff into it and layers on top of it, and it's not what the market is doing. So like right now, here I am. So now the next bar closed. So now what we ended up getting here is a red bar. So now we have a red bar closing at its low. So, all right, this is a range bound market thus far. We're in a range bound market. Now, if we start printing red bars closing at their lows, then I would potentially be interested in a short. But right now, as it stands, we are still in a range and we're trading in this box. Yeah, now did I say anything there that has anything to do with my belief of where I think the market should be and the economy and interest rates and blah, 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 blah? I have my opinions, but my opinions are left at the door, okay? We don't bring opinions here when we're trading. Opinions will kill your trading. All that I care about is, what are the buyers and sellers doing? What do the bars look like? What is the range? And where can I take a trade? So if there's one thing that you should be getting out of these morning lives, it should be that just listen to my voice and my tempo and my demeanor, how I approach the market. It's different from everybody, but what's the same is that we do have to approach the market from a sense of equanimity and the sense of peace and a sense of openness and the sense of, I have no idea what's going to happen. It doesn't matter. I can't intellectualize the market. This is not about intellect. You know, you look at a pro athlete. I'm a big tennis fan, and I'm a big fan of Rafael Nadal, right? And he's just, it's not, they're all the same. They're all the pros the same. They practice, right? They practice so much, and they do all these different things to make sure that they're prepared. But once that match starts, do they have a plan? Like, is there a plan? They've rehearsed a bunch of different things, but now it's just like, okay, the ball's coming at me super fast. You don't have time to plan that. You just have to just react and be in the moment and perform. And that's what we do in the market. We go back and we perform. And then after the market closes, we could assess it and say, well, I need to do this better. I need to get better skills in this area, so on and so forth. But right now, as I'm sitting here, I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't care about the setups that I know. I don't care because what happens is with practice, as long as I can manage my mindset, all of my experience and repetitions and everything else come into play, which allows me to make the best decision possible based on my skill level, okay? as long as I keep myself out of the way. Okay, as long as I am able to have this conversation with you, because when the time is right, based on my experience, I will know when to act. And that is based on experience. But if I am clogging that, like I did yesterday, with my belief, with my theories, now I'm no longer in practice mode. Now I'm in intellectualizing mode. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We don't make money in the market by intellectualizing. Okay, just like the tennis player does not win the Australian Open, okay, by having a theory of what he read in a book. You win it by performing at the highest level. So we're going to cut it off now. Okay, let's wait for this bar to close, and let's just take a look here. And this is going to be a theme every morning, is that I'm going to be talking, and I'm even thinking about bringing in some books that I'm reading and books that I read when it comes to trading mindset, because in the morning, what matters is our mindset, and we're going to continue talking about it. So let's see what happens with this final bar here. All right, so another red bar. So, but again, this is a range bound open. So yeah, so that's tune back in tomorrow, and I will see you all after the close for the trade review, and trade well and manage your risk.